I've always been drawn to this first reading from St. Paul in this letter to the Corinthians. It's a brief account of the Last Supper that Paul claims to have gotten from the Lord, perhaps meaning from those who were present at the Last Supper of the Lord. This particular letter was written about 15 years before the earliest gospel, the Gospel of Mark. So it's the earliest account that we have of what occurred at the Last Supper that has come down to us. We are in touch here with this earliest tradition of our faith about the Eucharist and the Church. There is a link today, especially, between the Gospel reading and Holy Communion and this second reading, because the words of the response that we say together before receiving Holy Communion are the words spoken by that Roman centurion. Lord, I am not worthy to receive you. We, more or less, are spoken and in touch with that pagan centurion whose story makes its way into the gospel today. According to that gospel reading, Jesus was astonished at his words of faith found in this pagan centurion, declaring, "Not even in Israel have I found faith like this." He was a pagan and didn't feel worthy enough to have Jesus, the man of God, this Jewish man of God, come into his home. Jesus does not ask us to be worthy before coming to us in the Eucharist. He only asks that we be open and receptive to his coming to us. In that first reading, Paul reminds us, every time you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are proclaiming the death of the Lord. The Lord's death, according to Paul, was the demonstration of God's love for us, of God's intent for us. God demonstrates his love for us while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. When we celebrate the Eucharist, we are always proclaiming the Lord's unconditional love for all, and that love becomes present in a very special way. At this Eucharist, at every Eucharist, we are invited to receive that love into our lives and then share it with all whom we meet, so that our lives can proclaim the Lord's love. We have received the Lord's love, and we are then to proclaim it in what we say, what we do, and who we are.